Greetings, everyone. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I had a Merry Christmas, and so I wanted to drop information which I have been studying. Waking up out of the matrix, and I wanted to drop some information about the winter solstice. Uh, and while we celebrate Christmas, and while it's what is the true meaning of Christmas? And understanding that it's the winter solstice, which we didn't learn this information. We were never taught this in church. We were never really taught this. Basically, I've heard people say the winter solstice, but I never took the time to really to dive into any research or anything. But understanding that ancient Kemet, our ancestors, they observed the winter solstice, and it's having to do with the seasons, having to do with, to me, knowing yourself, having to do with the sun, the birth of the sun. What is so important about the sun? If we did not have the sun, we would not exist. We would not have vegetation growing. The earth would be cold. We would not be able to survive. So the sun at this time, the winter solstice, is called new life, new birth. It's the birth of the sun. It is the sun stands still for 3 days. It does not move. It does not move for 3 days. The sun stands still. So to me, what can I take from that as symbolic to apply that to my life? Well, number one, I will apply that to my life, saying that I need to be still to hear what the Creator wants to say to me. I need to meditate. I need to make sure I'm examining myself before I make any major decisions. So that's symbolic to me. Well, at the sun, what is this winter solstice also symbolic of? It's planting. At this time, it's planting seeds. What do you want to prepare us for spring? What do you want to reap a harvest for in the spring at this time? So this winter solstice is also symbolic of that. Apply it to yourself. What am I planting in my life that I want to reap the benefit of it in the spring or in the new birth? What do I want to? It could be what type of seeds that you're going to plant. Because if you're a gardener, you're going to pick the right kind of seeds that that's going to grow you a tremendous harvest or crop, so that you can make whatever profit off of it that you want to make off of it. So we apply that to our life. What is it in my life that I need to pay attention to so that I can have a great abundance of harvest in the spring? It could be more meditating, more praying, more healthy eating, more exercise. These are things that I can plant in my life. This is what this winter solstice is symbolic of. And we just took, as growing up in Christianity or in religion, we just took what was given to us because that's what our parents took, and they didn't understand how important all this applied back to our ancestor, because we're in a land and we're taking part in religion, or we're taking part of serving a God that is not our ancient ancestors, not our God of the land that we came from. So it's very important that we go back to Kemet, get as far as we can, dive into what we can to understand that truth so that we can apply it to our life. Even I found in my research that the birth of no one knows really the birth of Jesus. There is no evidence or documentation stating that they really know the birth of the time of Jesus. It says that during the winter solstice is the time of the birth of the sun. In Egypt, they studied the birth over 3,000 years ago, the birth of the sun. And it's saying that, see, we can even see that if it says if Jesus came 2,000 years ago, then the Egyptians studied this over 3,000 years ago. So we need to go back and take part in what is the oldest, not what is now, but what is the oldest, what is the ancient, that we can take part of. What does our Creator have for us to take and learn? Because that's what we want to do. We want to take part in apply what the Creator has for us, so for us to know ourselves. the virgin birth is also written in the stars. Well, if we're going to talk in the way of Christianity, how did they say they found Jesus? Well, they found him through the stars. That's what they said. There was a star. They followed the star. So therefore they followed, it was astrology. So the virgin birth is written in the stars. And it's very important that we pay attention for the signs in the stars. And it says also the 3 stars, which is symbolic of 3 kings. And also, this is the time of the year you are conscious of what you are planting. You are conscious of what are you planting in your mind. What about affirmations? What are you thinking about? What are your thoughts? What are you saying out of your mouth? Because whatever you're saying, whatever you're planting in your thoughts is what you're going to get a harvest from. So I always say, be careful what you say out of your mouth, because it says in the scripture, life and death is in the power of the tongue. So it's very important that we pay attention of what we're thinking and pay attention to who we hang around, because we don't want their energy to get into our aura. Planting seeds now to reap a harvest in the spring. Here's an old saying that we say, that we used to hear our parents, older grandparents them say, that be careful what you're doing on December the 31st, when New Year's come in, because you'll be doing that same thing all year long. That's an old saying. It is. It's whatever you're doing. This is symbolic of the winter solstice. Planting seeds now to reap the harvest in the spring. One of the things of the winter solstice is also symbolic of making the earth green. It's the fertility. God, Mother Earth is giving birth to the new. It's the greenery is coming forth again. That's what it's symbolic of. It's not anything having to do with any spooky stuff that they taught us to stay away from. Things that they told us to stay away is stuff that we really need to take part in, because it applies to our life of today, of who we are knowing ourselves. They have want us to adopt and take things of their religion, but they don't want us to adopt and take things of our own, of knowing ourselves, of our ancient ancestors. Things that we left records for us to know, to return back to who we are as gods and goddesses. So just wanted to share that. I didn't mean for the video to be that long, but I felt in my heart that this was something that we celebrate, the winter solstice. Why we celebrate Christmas? Because it's the winter solstice. It's the birth of the sun. And without the sun, we would not be here. Peace.